You know, every now and then I like to come and sit in a place like this and not let the magnitude escape me that I'm able to sit here in a church in Tallahassee, Florida, some 2,000 years after the birth of the church, because there were people that were faithful to the mission of God. And so leaving the epicenter of Jerusalem, men and women and families left the comfort of their homes, left the comfort of their faith communities, pushed out of the walls of their city in order to take a gospel to people who have never heard. And it reminds me that we don't have a mission because we have a church, but rather the church exists because God has given us a mission. Jesus told us that upon the rock he would build the church and the gates of hell would not stand against it. So it should be no surprise to us that the church has stood strong through the test of time, these thousands upon thousands of years. But even though the church has stood strong, it's had to weather many attacks. But we realize the greatest danger to the church has never been from the outside of the church. The walls of the church don't protect us because the greatest attacks the church has faced has always been from within. And even in our text this morning, we'll see the danger of those that would come into the inside of the church and teach a different message. Do we know, trust, and are we built on the gospel? And to think about it in your own lives, we have to make this personal. Likely the greatest attacks to your faith won't come from the outside, but will likely come from within. From your own thoughts, from your own desires, from the temptations that you will face that will want you to believe something other than the gospel. And so the church must rest in the fact that the gospel is always Jesus plus nothing equals everything. So when the church gets the gospel right, there's always an element of outward movement. The church realizes that the gospel is too good for us simply to keep to ourselves. As the gospel wells up within us, we realize that the church can and must leave the building. We're compelled by the gospel to take the good news of the gospel, just like the early church, into our homes, into our places of work, into our community, and into our city. And so our prayer always must be that God would help us with the gospel love the city that he's planted us in, to take the good news of the gospel across the street and around the world.